Things are happening in Phillies land. The Phillies avoided arbitration with the following players. Previously, they had already avoided arbitration with catchers Rafael Marchand, who is now making $800,000 here in 2026, and then Garrett Stubbs on a split contract for the 2026 season. He would make $925,000 in the majors and $575,000 in the minors. Now, on yesterday, the Phillies avoided arbitration with a lot more of their players. First, Jesus Luzardo, the Phillies left-handed starter. He will be making $11 million. He is also a free agent after the season, so free agent in 2027, last year of club control, as is Alec Boehm, who is going to be making $10.2 million here in 2026, and then a free agent after the season as well. Then you have Joan Duran. He will be making $7.5 million for the 2026 season. He still has 2 more years of club control, not a free agent until 2028. Just like Joan Duran, Bryson Stott, not a free agent until 2028. He will be making $5.9 million in 2026. Tanner Banks, very low number in today's world and baseball standards here, but he will be making $1.2 million in 2026. He's still under club control for 3 more seasons, not a free agent until 2029. A very low number for a reliever of Tanner Banks' quality and caliber. And then there was also Brandon Marsh, who also agreed to a deal to avoid arbitration, as well as Edmundo Sosa. Both of those, the last time I checked, those dollar amounts were to be determined and not announced yet, but they will both be back. And Brandon Marsh, like a few of the other guys, under club control for 2 more seasons, free agent in 2028. Edmundo Sosa, last year under club control, free agent after the season in 2027. We got a fun one in store here for today. Now, there's also the reports of Bichette reportedly setting up a meeting with the Phillies in the coming days. Quote, who knows what day that will actually be, but the Phillies will be meeting with Bichette, and I believe it is a video conference. And then there's also the reports out there saying that he is searching and in the hunt for a somewhere around $300 million contract here with his next team. So it's going to be a big financial commitment and multi-year long-term commitment if the Phillies do sign Bichette. But there seems to be mutual interest on both sides. We'll see what comes out of it. Don't get your hopes up for anything, as anything can happen here. It's a business at the end of the day, and it's a lot of money, a lot of commitment. But there is that the Phillies will be actually meeting with the 2-time All-Star infielder. So that's exciting. Welcome into Phillies Daily, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Kennelly. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. You guys appreciated. As always, as I said, we got a really fun one in store for you today, and that starts with me wanting to just give my best wishes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I'm not sure if you all are Eagles fans. Probably the majority of you. If you're Phillies fans, if you're watching this, you're probably a Phillies fan. So in turn, you're probably an Eagles fan, as I am. I'm a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. They obviously begin their quest to defend their Super Bowl title officially here in the 2025-26 NFL playoffs starting this weekend. They will be hosting the San Francisco 49ers at 4:30 p.m. at home in South Philadelphia at Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday evening. So that's exciting. It's the wild card round, the first round of the NFL playoffs. And again, if you're going to that game, be safe, have fun, be loud, be proud, and let's hope for an Eagles win and advance to the divisional round. Speaking of playoffs, with the Eagles playoffs starting, with the NFL playoffs starting this weekend, a couple games on Saturday, tomorrow, a couple games Sunday, 1 game Monday night. It got me thinking about what are some of the Phillies' best playoff moments since 2022, these last 4 years, obviously, since they've been making the playoffs each of those years. I wanted to relive some of those best moments, give you some of my favorite moments that I just really stick in my mind, stick with me in my heart here with this Phillies team. It's been fun. More so the first 2 years in 2022 and 2023 when they were actually winning and advancing, got to the World Series, almost got to the World Series again. The past 2 years, not that many great moments because as we all know, they lost and were exited way too early in the NLDS both years. First to the New York Mets in 2024 and recently this past year in 2025 to the eventual World Series, back-to-back World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers. So not many great moments coming out of those 2 years, but the first 2 years were very fun. I had a great time watching them. I'm sure you all did as well. I couldn't really decide officially on enough moments to be able to fit here on this episode here to talk about. So I wanted to start out with my honorable mention. Now, this might be a little bit a hot honorable mention, hot topic here for me to say, hot take, I should say. But my honorable mention is Rhys Hoskins' bat spike after his 3-run home run in Game 3 of the 2022 NLDS against the Atlanta Braves. That was electric. The Phillies had a 1-0 lead at the time in the third inning, I believe it was. And Rhys Hoskins absolutely launched that 3-run bomb. He was struggling before that, and it felt great for him. The crowd erupted. It was at Citizens Bank Park, if you remember. Gave the Phillies an early 4-0 lead. They went on to win that game, and then they also went on to eventually win that series. As we all know, they made it to the World Series that year, took down the Atlanta Braves, knocked their divisional foes out of the playoffs there early in the NLDS, and it was just great. That moment will live on forever. Rhys Hoskins, bat spike. So that's my honorable mention. And then I couldn't decide on another one after that. Both of them actually involving Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, you pay this man to have these moments, and that's exactly what he did multiple times in that 2022 playoff run and 2023 playoff run, back-to-back years. He was incredible for the most part. Obviously, these past 2 years, none of these Phillies players really have done well in the playoffs, but Bryce Harper had his moments, and he had incredibly big moments, and that's exactly why you brought him here. That's exactly why you pay him all this money to come up big in those moments, and he sure did in these moments I am going to talk to you about here, and I'm sure you can guess what moments they are before I even say it. Bryce Harper, the first one I wanted to talk about, and the one probably the best Phillies playoff moment in these last 4 years, maybe even ever one of the top Phillies playoff moments, especially since it was a home game. Bryce Harper's go-ahead 2-run home run against the San Diego Padres in the 2022 NLCS. In Game 5, it pretty much sent the Phillies to the World Series. Bryce Harper delivered in the clutch late in the game. He got the job done. It was the swing of his life, if you remember on that broadcast what they said there, and it absolutely was, sending his team, giving that go-ahead 2-run shot to send the Phillies essentially to the World Series against the Houston Astros. Again, 2022 NLCS Game 5, the Phillies were up in that series 3-1 against the Padres. Home game at Citizens Bank Park. Late in the game, they were trailing 3-2 to the Padres. The Padres were looking to make it a 3-2 series, try to make something out of it, salvage their season. But Bryce Harper had other plans. It was 3-2 Padres in the bottom of the 8th inning, 1 runner on for the Phillies. And then Bryce Harper came up, sent that ball over the fence in left field, and the rest is history. Gave the Phillies a 4-3 lead. They went on to win that game. They went on to go to the World Series. Ultimately came up short in Game 6 to the Astros, but it was an incredible playoff run that year by the Phillies. Nobody expected them to do that. Nobody expected them to get there or even close to that. And Bryce Harper absolutely had that swing of his life. It really just gives me chills even thinking about it. I'll watch the video earlier just to remember it. Couple of times actually, and it's just awesome. The adrenaline that shoots through your body, you can't help but smile and feel great and remember that great time. Bedlam at the bank, it was awesome. I hope Bryce Harper has a lot more of those moments moving forward to finish out his contract and Phillies career. I'm sure there'll be plenty more opportunities, and he's going to do it. Now, the other one I couldn't decide on between Bryce Harper, so I decided just to talk about both of them. I'm sure you can guess it as well. And this came in the following year in the 2023 NLDS against, again, the Atlanta Braves, just like they played them and beat them in 2022. And that NLDS, sending them home packing, they did so again in 2023 before ultimately losing in the NLCS in Game 7 to the Arizona Diamondbacks. But to keep it positive, remember in Game 2 of that NLDS against the Braves, the Phillies were down 5-4 in the top of the 9th inning to the Braves. Now, the Phillies were up 1-0 in that series. The Braves are looking to tie it up. They eventually did. Bryce Harper was on first base. He had a leadoff walk in that 9th inning, down by 1 run. Nick Castellanos up to the plate. Nick Castellanos, well, I should say JT Realmuto, he ended up flying out for the first out. So there was Bryce Harper on first. JT Realmuto flew out, 1 out. Nick Castellanos up to the plate with 1 out, down by 1 run, top of the 9th inning, and the Phillies obviously trying to push across that game-tying run or even take the lead there in the 9th to at least have a chance at winning, and go up 2-0 in the series. Nick Castellanos up, gave the ball a ride, and I mean an absolute ride, almost a home run, sent it to the right center field fence. Incredible leaping grab at the wall by the Braves center fielder. Got the out, obviously, on that fly ball from Nick Castellanos. Bryce Harper, he was aggressive on the base pass, if you remember. He was actually rounding second base from first base, heading to third, trying to score that game-tying run to take that 2-0 series lead over the Braves, which would have been great. Unfortunately, center fielder made a great leaping play. Bryce Harper misread it, misjudged it. Bad base running mistake. He ended up getting doubled up at first base, trying to get back. Didn't get back in time, and that ended the game on that double play there for the Phillies. Braves tied up the series 1-1. And then the Braves shortstop Orlando Arcia was heard and seen in the Braves clubhouse after the game, yelling, chanting, smiling, having fun, saying, "Attaboy Harper," plenty of times there. And it was caught. Obviously, the Phillies and Bryce Harper, his teammates, everybody, they heard about it, they saw it, and Bryce Harper got the last laugh in the end. He went on to the following game there. After hearing all that, what Orlando Arcia was saying about him after that base runner blunder to end that game and tie up the series 1-1. Game 3, Bryce Harper, incredible stuff. He came back and he delivered for his team, for the Phillies, after that attaboy comments that he heard out of the divisional foe. He knew about it. He wanted to do something about it, and he did it with his play on the field. Bryce Harper hit 2 home runs in Game 3. The Phillies went on to win that game. They went on to win that series and knock out the Braves for the second consecutive year in the NLDS. Again, they went on to the NLCS, lost in Game 7 to the Diamondbacks. And Bryce Harper, 2 home runs in that Game 3 win after that Game 2 base runner blunder to even up the series 1-1. He definitely made up for himself for that mistake. His go-ahead 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. He stared down Orlando Arcia as he passed him. Arcia was playing shortstop at the time. It was incredible, iconic type of moment there for Bryce Harper. He got the last laugh. He got his revenge. But not only did he hit that 3-run home run early in the game in the 3rd inning, he hit another home run, this time a solo home run in the 5th inning. Also stared down Orlando Arcia as he passed him at shortstop going around the bases. Again, Phillies went on to win the series, knock out the Braves, got the last laugh. Bryce Harper delivering to the clutch yet again. 2 consecutive postseasons. Great stuff. Iconic stuff. I love it. Bryce Harper's the best. I hope, again, he has so many more of these playoff moments because it's been electric, and it was electric, and the Phillies and Phillies fans are definitely missing that these past 2 years. Even though they had great regular seasons, one of the top teams in baseball these past 2 years, just can't get the job done in the playoffs. Frustrating, but hopefully, again, this team and Bryce Harper can deliver for them in the future and hopefully win a World Series championship soon. It would be great. The city really needs a Phillies World Series championship. Going into my last one, Bryson Stott, you may remember, this was the one I couldn't really decide between Rhys Hoskins' bat spike or Bryson Stott, but I decided to go with Bryson Stott. He's still on the team, so why not? His electric grand slam, if you remember, in the 2023 wild card round. So before this happened with Orlando Arcia and the Braves in the NLDS, the Phillies played the Miami Marlins in the wild card round. Obviously, that is a best of 3 series, so you have to win 2 games to move on. The Phillies ended up sweeping the Marlins 2-0 and went on to play the Braves. Ended up beating them, went on to the NLCS, and lost to the Diamondbacks, as I said, in Game 7. But Bryson Stott hit an electric grand slam against the Marlins in that 2023 wild card round. The Phillies did have a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning, so they were winning the game. They were already up 1-0 in the series over the Marlins. It was looking pretty good for them to advance to the next round to play the Braves in the NLDS, which they eventually did. But Bryson Stott really put an exclamation point on that and that wild card round for the Phillies to move on to that NLDS, give them some momentum. He extended the lead with a grand slam, extended it to 7-0 Phillies. They went on to win that game, obviously, swept the Marlins in the wild card round, had momentum, and went on to win that Braves series as well in the NLDS. Electric bat spike, just like Rhys Hoskins had there in, 2022, I believe I said. Yeah, but regardless, he had a bat spike too. Iconic stuff out of Bryson Stott. It was awesome and just incredible. Again, there's really no words to describe these feelings, those moments as a Phillies fan. Again, I just really hope and pray that we can see a lot more of these moments as soon as this year in 2026 and the next couple of years. And hopefully it ends with a World Series championship one of these times, because that's what we definitely need. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Phillies Daily and reliving the good times of Phillies baseball in the playoffs. Hopefully the Eagles can kind of channel that inner Phillies from the 2022-2023 teams and channel themselves from last year from the 2024 Eagles team that went on to win the Super Bowl. Hopefully they can do that against the San Francisco 49ers here on Sunday in the wild card round and advance to the divisional round. I'm hoping for it. where it's always go Birds around here. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe for more Phillies content right here on Phillies Daily. Remember, Phillies Daily is only Phillies Monday through Friday during the offseason, so no videos for tomorrow or Sunday. That's why I wanted to talk about the playoffs and the Eagles here today. We'll be back at it Monday, hopefully after an Eagles win. And as always, go Phils.